Hi, this is Henk. Welcome to another edition of the Soul Sessions. And today my guest is Al Omega from Future Features. Is that correct?
Feature features. That's it.
Awesome. All right, man. So let's talk about what you got going on.
Back in the 70s, we used to have a local horror host, Bob Wilkins, and he did it for a number of years. And then we had John Stanley, and then the show ended.
Okay.
And yeah, and that was the 70s. And then I think it ended in 84. And then in 2008, Tom Wersch, who was one of the uh, people involved with the show, and Bob Wilkins contacted an associate of mine and said they needed us to bring the show back. They had a movie they had put out, a retrospective called Keep America Strong. And they want us to show for it. So we did. My associate had a radio station job at the time. He was a DJ. And since I was the one who had a camera, I got tagged on doing stuff. And so we started doing the show in 2008, and that was 17 years ago. And I'm still here. My associate has stepped off some time ago, but I'm still here, and we're still making fun shows, hopefully, for everyone.
Okay. What's your main focus? What do you specialize in? Like, what's the target audience?
Oh, the target audience? Well, that's interesting. I like to include everyone. A lot of my demographics show up in the 50 plus range, of course. People who like the classic old movies. But I show a lot of the newer movies. I do a lot of research on copyright and so forth. In fact, I lecture on trademark and copyright. And so I also like to show science fiction. I like to show fantasy work. So a lot of the fantasy work tends to be more for kids. We have some more adult-oriented shows like The Mermaids of Tiburon, which is a fun movie if you haven't seen it.
No, I
Uh,
have not.
well, they made the movie and it was kind of standard mermaids and rubber tails and, plastic flowers across it, and it sucked. So they found out that the lead actress was a naturist, I guess, and it was at a time you could not hire someone to pose naked. So but if she were an actress, they'd spend time naked anyway, and that was okay. So she got a bunch of her friends, and they came back and redid all the mermaid bits with just mermaids with a little bit of seaweed around the waist, and that was it.
Right.
And the movie became a lot more popular.
Yeah,
It's
well, of course.
as one host pointed out, it said it was like G-rated porn. You liked watching it, but you weren't sure why. There's
Mm,
absolutely nothing sexual at any time going on. It's just beautiful women naked swimming. So
right.
sure. So some people want to see that. People want to see, we just did a movie about a fun little demon voiced by Dom DeLuise, wonderful man, Munchie. And he runs around and grants wishes, and hilarity ensues. And that's a fun movie for the younger folks. So I have people from 13 to 300 or whatever, watching the show. And that's what makes me happy. I'm here to make people have a good time, show them hopefully something from the past they haven't seen before, or something current that skidded by that no one saw when it was in the
So
theater.
do you do reviews of your favorite shows? Are you talking a little bit about the theme of them, or show a clip of them, or what? How does the process go?
My show is a bit more informational. I actually sit and I talk. I point out that I'm stuck up in the attic, my childhood bedroom in the attic, by mom. Mom's too big to make it up the stairs anymore, so I'm safe up here. And in the attic, I show off. I show the whole movie. I make a point of not cutting the movie. So if that movie had nudity in it, it's still there.
Right.
And then I talk about the producers, the directors, the actors that were in it, the stories of what made them, and there's some really interesting backstories to some of this stuff. So I love including that. My associate that helps me, my deaf sound man, is a veteran, a Vietnam War veteran, and so whenever we're talking about actors and they have a military background, we like to delve into that a little bit. So
Okay. So do you do like a kind of like an explanation or description before the movie, and then you discuss it afterwards?
I like to make a point if I make a description of the movie in any way, I try to make it as accurate and wrong at the same time as possible.
Is it
One movie
accurate
like,
and
oh,
wrong? How does it go?
it could tonight we have this movie. It could be a movie about a person going on a vacation abroad. It could be a food movie. It could be about a man who likes older women.
Right.
Fortunately, it's actually all three. It's a vampire flick. So,
Yeah. It's not
so
Harold and Maude.
I'm sorry,
It's not Harold and Maude.
not Harold and Maude, but I've
I'm just
shown that.
making a joke because you said older women.
That well, if you're a vampirist, you're 300. But Harold and Maude, oh yeah. So great movie. I was an older teen when that came out. So I remember watching that in the theaters. So great movie.
Yeah, I remember like it didn't even seem I guess to some people it seemed shocking. It didn't even seem shocking to me. Like, because I had all these like punk rock and goth friends. It's just like, yeah, okay.
I watched that, and back then you could in the movie they have the Jaguar hearse.
Right.
You could get a kit car for that back then, and you can't do that now, sadly. I do
Yeah.
have a that I drive, and it's a wonderful car to have. It's the ultimate family car.
Are they who makes them? Are the Lincolns?
Mine's actually a Cadillac,
Okay.
all
And
metal.
that's your like a daily driver around town?
No, it's my Sunday going to church car. So
Yeah, I
uh,
can't step into church because I'll probably set on fire. But other than that, yeah.
I can't step into church either. I get caught tickling the statues, trying to make them.
So what's your favorite old movie and what's your favorite new movie? Because obviously it's changed a lot. It's hard to pick.
Movies with an ironic twist at the end. So it's a
Well,
bit of
it
a
could be whatever. I'm just saying, like, what would your favorite one be?
so Curse of the Demon is one of my favorite movies. And a little side note: whenever there was a movie and you had the big black book and they're reading from it, I took notes. I
Uh,
was a kid that I had a notebook. I kept notes on this. I was trying to connect all the dots, man. There's another great movie, Equinox,
okay,
about teenagers that get a hold of the book and they're making the symbols out of the book. And a friend of mine and I sat down. We made some of these obscure protective charms,
okay.
for just to have, because you never know, man. Demons can pop out of anywhere. Uh, so I
It's
did grow
possible,
up.
yeah. It's possible.
So those are some old movies that I like. Newer movies that I like. There were a lot of great '70s movies, and that was a big time for me. Things like Cold Winter's Death, or
Okay,
but great movies. Cold Winter's Death is actually a psychological horror movie. You may not think that at first, but once you see the end, you realize it's a psychological thriller. And then
okay.
they is just about evil. I mean, it's an old house, and there's a trap door in the basement with a cross holding it shut. You should not open that door. So, that's some great lines in it, and Victor Bono wearing like a $20,000 suit. So,
Okay. Are there like for me? I mean, maybe it's just like that's when I kind of like as a teenager came of age, started seeing this. But a lot of my favorites are like those like super late '70s, early '80s movies, like Alien or Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2 or Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, did that sort of stuff influence you?
Evil Dead certainly did, and Aliens. A little side story: when Aliens came out, I had an iguana about 3 feet long at the time, and still living at home. And my mother took me to see Alien, and we get home, and the iguana has gotten out of his cage. Now, this is not a friendly iguana, and they can be nasty.
Oh
And
yeah,
yeah,
I
they
didn't
can.
know that. Yeah.
Yeah, and my father was not a man with a sense of humor, sadly. And so we got to reenact the end sequence of Alien while we're looking for the iguana, where it's gone, before Dad finds it. Because he didn't like it the last time he found one of my lizards. So that was unfortunate, sadly.
What would he have harmed the lizard? What would happen?
The lizard per se, but the lizard wasn't real friendly. It a warm spot. That's what you do. You look for the warm spot.
Would
So,
it bit him?
oh yeah, it might have been him.
Yeah.
At three, it theoretically could have taken off a finger. They're quite strong.
Wow. Yeah, we went to Chichen Itza with a bunch of friends of mine. They're like these giant iguanas everywhere, and
Yes,
they
I've been to
were
Chichen.
yeah, they were trying to convince me they're all real controlled, which I didn't buy for a second, but yeah, they had a bunch.
I remember down there. I was doing a junket of various the places down there, and there were some college bros there, and one of them decided it would be really fun to catch one of these 4 or 5 foot long iguanas.
I
Yeah,
hope
I
he
sat.
got bit.
Oh yeah, they have liquid down there. It can be very nasty. So yeah,
So what happened? Like when this,
he caught it for about 5 seconds.
and then it bit him, and he was like,
Oh,
"Oh
I bit him
fuck!"
good, clawed him up a bit, and then he complained about it. It's like, hey, you were stupid.
Probably complained about it nonstop. We're like, all right, we didn't want to deal with this. All right, so it feels like there was kind of a resurrection, well, it feels like every like 10 years there are like there'll be nothing, then there'll be like a Dawn of the Dead or Evil Dead, yeah. Then there'll be nothing for a little while. Then there'll be like like a Martyrs or like Inside or something. So, like, do you like any of the like newer movies? You feel like that it kind of goes in like spurts and troughs?
Well, I'm not a big splatter fan. I'm not big on giallo movies and that sort of thing. So I remember seeing the original Texas Chainsaw when that came out, and that was certainly a frightening movie. Uh, I've actually worked with the guy who played Grandpa in that movie because I
Okay,
working films myself. He's a lovely person, and we worked together on Skate to Hell, shot in Vegas.
okay,
And trust me, hell is very close to Vegas.
yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, there's a commuter bus, I think. Uh,
I've a Vegas joke. You want to hear it?
sure.
All right. What's the difference between Wuhan, China, and Las Vegas?
I know what.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
There we go. So, as for the peaks and troughs of movies, you know, I find that there are a lot of really good sleeper movies that come out, and that's what I'm looking at. So I'm sort of insulated from seeing the peaks and troughs. I hear about, oh, there's this really good movie coming out. Well, that's copyrighted, so I can't do anything with it. So I have other movies I have to go watch so I can show them on my show. And I have to watch a lot of movies. In fact, I've watched movies that I've had to turn down because the violence and gore, I really wonder about whether or not I should show some of these movies. I showed a Christmas movie, which opens up with Santa with a baby and a circular saw. So I warned
I
people, you
wonder
might
where
not
that's
want to watch.
going.
What?
I said, I wonder where that's going.
Oh, we got to see where it went. Uh, I warned people straight up, you may not want to watch this movie.
Right.
Some people didn't like it. So, yeah, I mean, After Party Massacre. There's a movie with some real violence in it.
I
But
never saw that. Yeah. I don't know.
it's a
I don't really watch like gore fest. I like it when there's like a story. I mean, it could be kind of a cheesy, but it's a good story, like Evil Dead. You
oh
know,
yeah,
or it could be I felt like Martyrs had a great story. I felt like there were a whole bunch of ones like even like Pumpkinhead. Like Pumpkinhead still it's a little bit cheesy, but it's got a great fucking story. And I mean, you can't beat Lance Hendrickson. I mean,
oh yeah.
he was
You
in
know,
Near Dark, which I think is the best vampire movie ever.
which one?
Near Dark.
Near Dark, yeah, good one.
So,
Um,
like when people ask for vampire movies, I say my absolute favorite is Near Dark. After that, it'd be 30 Days a Night, and
um,
like then I feel like it kind of goes down after that. Go ahead.
it's hard to keep a franchise going beyond a certain point. Um, I was just watching something about Tremors a little earlier today, and Tremors has taken the advantage of no longer happening here. Our heroes, these same actors, are going places and running into things, and that allows.
That's still going on. I saw the first one with Kevin Bacon like a long time ago.
Oh, they have like five or six of them now. In the last one, Burt Gummer dies.
Are they bad?
I wouldn't say they're bad. I think the quality has pretty much maintained since the first one. There's also a TV series of called Tremors, and for me, I like the older I get, the more I'm turning into Burt Gummer and that the grumpy old man. Yeah, those kids are off. Get them off my lawn. Maybe I'll go hunt them down with a chainsaw later. I'm
Yeah.
totally there for the bad guy in this one, and one of the Tremors movies, they're about to be eaten by one of the bad monsters, and Burt Gummer is laid up. He's sick. He's dying, and a crack shot pops out of nowhere, and they turn around, and there's Burt Gummer in his hospital gown with his IV stand still, and his butt hanging out, and his rifle. He's like, freaking, let's see, he's out here. And then he passes out, but nothing's going to stop him from taking that shot. And I can respect that.
What do you think are some unwatched like underground movies that were actually really good, but they just kind of didn't hit the mainstream?
Well, we've already mentioned some. Equinox, made on no budget. In fact, at one point they ran out of money and they stopped filming for like 15 years. And then everyone came back older. Yeah, and that had some famous people in it. And again, Cold Winter's Death, great movie there. Let's see, I pulled up a few here. Uh, Bay of Blood doesn't get enough love now. It's actually sort of considered the first slasher movie. Um, and A Name for Evil, that's one that no one ever saw because it has so much nudity in it. And if
What year did it come out?
that one came out in '73, so if you want
Oh,
to see
that's why. Yeah.
you want to see Robert Culp buck naked, there's a one for you. Evil did well because that one hit the drive-in circuit, which sadly we don't really have that much of anymore.
Oh,
Um,
I think they're like what? They're like a couple left. They're like nostalgic visits, but they don't really exist.
yeah, and then we have I Bought a Vampire Motorcycle, which is a silly movie with the most disgusting bathroom scene ever in it.
Yeah.
So you have to do that one. That one's pretty hideous. You won't eat corn again.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of very fine movies that, like I said, that they just slipped past, or you just weren't the right age when they hit the theaters, and then other things came along and they just got shuffled off. And I love bringing those movies back. I
Okay.
brought back a Kay Kaiser movie with that had I think Peter Lorre, Bela Lugosi, and Boris Karloff all in it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So, and only the older folks in this is going to know who Kay Kaiser was in the first place. So
I don't even know.
he was a big band leader back during World War II, and
Okay.
he's extremely popular. And he made a series of movies where he's a band leader with his band going somewhere, and something happens. And they're usually comedies. And in this one, they go to a spooky old house, and things happen.
Was
So
it kind of like one of the things like Columbo or something where it's like, just going about the thing and boom, something happens.
yeah, it's that sort of thing. It's a little Scooby Doo action going on.
Exactly, yeah. Scooby
So
is probably like a better reference than Columbo.
kids there. And Velma should be chubby, by the way. If anyone says Velma should not be skinny, Velma's supposed to be the chubby girl. So we appreciate those big girls out there.
Well, I think people made it like a meme, but I agree with it. Like if Scooby Doo taught us anything, is it the real monsters are people.
The biggest monster, one in the mirror. Yeah. Always watch out for them.
All right, so what specifically do you do? You have a show that you put it on like a resurrection of like old things. What do you do? Like, explain to me.
It's a TV show. I'm nationally broadcast and syndicated. I've been on network television. And we come in and I'm sitting in the living room and I tell you about the movie. I tell you about who is in it, what happened with them. There's some jokes and some humor involved. Um, the show is supposed to feel like the old live studio shows of when I grew up
Oh yeah.
watching The Ghoul, the Great Ghoulardi, and stuff like that. And so, if something funny, something weird happens, which does happen from time to time, I leave that in the show. I just ad lib with it, and you just never know what's going to happen. I was filming once, and this light overhead fell. Fortunately, it was caught by the safety people. Um, and it wouldn't have hit me, but it was right next to me. And so I left that hanging by the safety cable there for weeks at a time. As we just talked about, that light still hanging there. Mom's got to fix it one of these days. I don't know. Uh, we do use all new technology. So while I'm still filming with par cans, they're all LED par cans now. We shoot in 6K. I spend a lot of time restoring the movies, bringing up their resolution, making them sharper and higher quality. And of course, I look for the best quality I can get, but I got to clean stuff up as best I can. And that brings us into a little bit of the copyright stuff because
I
occasionally,
will say as a side note, so I have a friend and he got the original reels for the Evil Dead movies, like Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, and I think that was it. I don't think he got anything else. But I remember he played those in theaters, and I'm a big fan, so I went to go see them. When they're that big, you see how low their budget was. Because like Evil Dead, like you see that little like shack in the woods, and then you see the moon, but you see the cutout where they cut and pasted the moon.
yeah, you can notice that some of the trees are the same face of the tree because basically it's not quite a cutout, but it's only half a tree there. In fact, a number of the fiberglass trees they made behind there. So,
Oh
uh,
yeah. Well, and then they have that one where Sam Raimi's brother is one of the ghouls that comes out, and like you see the rip in his costume.
you should see behind the scenes where they did not leave a sweat plug for him. A lot of full body suits like that will have a plug that you can pull out to drain the sweat, which invariably will collect in it. And
Right.
so, got him in the chair, taking him out, and it's just dripping out of his feet. There, they got a bucket. So
Well,
that's
that adds even more to the look. It's
so yeah.
still better than CGI. So
Oh yes, I'm. That's the thing for me. My show is all practical effects. I do use a little CGI in some of the intros and that sort of thing, but my part of the show is all practical effects, which is fun because there's a lot of problem solving going on there.
yeah, I
So
also think it holds up way better. Like you look at those early CGI movies where I guess they thought they had it down. You watch it now, you're like, holy shit, it looks like crap. But then you watch like older movies like The American Werewolf, and you're like, it still holds up. It's so good.
yes, I mean you could not CG Jenny Aguder's naked bosom in the showers any better than that was done. So I'm a big Jenny Aguder fan. So one of the actors I've never got to meet, sadly. But
Yeah.
so anyway, the point is that while the show is high tech and so we have very high film standards, it's still the same sort of show that people like me grew up with, where anything can happen. People might stop by. I do have people in the studio from time to time as guests. Uh, you don't know what kind of movie I'm going to show. I
Do
have
you
to be
ever get
careful.
like any B movie actors or indie directors, anything like that?
Oh yeah, I've had a few people, and in fact, I often go to conventions. And I'll take this moment. I will be at the San Diego Comic Con this year.
Oh yeah.
I'd interviewing various and sundry people. So if you see me, stop by, say hi. I might interview you. I'd love
Uh,
to help the little guy out. So I'll
do
show
you
you.
find that you get a big reception at the Comic Con?
Uh, Conventions have treated me very well. I have been fortunate there. Uh, I only ever had one bad experience, and it's a convention. I'm not going to name it, but it's kind of known for being sloppy. So
What kind of event was it? Like a horror convention or a book convention or a comic convention or what?
it was a general convention. I'd been a vendor there in another life, and I was actually being a vendor before doing this stuff here. And I was at another convention and commented at the meeting they had afterwards about how bad that other convention was. Uh,
Uh,
uh, this guy stands up and goes, "Well, I'm the chairman of that convention. I'm really sorry to hear that. Let me invite you to come back." And I said, "Well, now I'm doing this thing here." I said, "No, I want to invite you to come back and see that we're not like that." And then next time I went back,
they're
um,
worse.
it was so bad I couldn't even be there. They actually
Wow.
wound up giving my booth to somebody else. So at the
Wow.
last minute, no less. So yeah, I'm not worried about going back to that convention again.
Yeah,
So
no, I've done a ton of conventions, both as a tattoo artist and as a horror writer. And
wow.
some of the conventions I've done, like it'll be like they just like rented like a space in like a Harley Davidson dealership or something. Like, dude, what are you doing? What the fuck is going on? Like, very poorly put together. So yeah, no, they vary widely. I agree.
Well, this was a very big convention. So, I mean, I was at the Moscone Center, and I'll say it was not Fan Expo because that's the one that's there regularly now, and they've been very good to me. So,
Okay, but I won't ask you to mention the one that you really disliked, but what about it was so bad?
oh, the problem with the convention is that, as I see it, it wasn't a yearly convention, it was every couple of years. And so uh, no one had done whatever it was they were doing for a couple of years. So you'd get there and no one really seemed to know who was in charge of what, where things were. I was supposed to have power at my booth, and every day during setup, I said, "Where's the power for my booth?" And oh, it'll
Right.
come. And then the day convention started. Oh, you should have said something. I did. Every single person here. Well, you didn't have it down for booth powered. I have the letter. We don't care. We don't accept our own letters. Whenever they say something like that, it's really shoddily run.
Did
So
you have to pay for booth?
yeah, I paid for booth for that one.
Holy shit. They didn't
Yeah, I paid for
refund
booth
you
for all.
or anything?
Nope. No, the last time they did, when they gave away my booth, they did refund me, but I had to ask for it. They didn't do it automatically.
Uh, This time, did you ask or you were just like, I've had it with them?
Well, I asked for I said, you canceled this. Why haven't I got my money back? Oh, they haven't refunded you yet. I'll go see about that. Like, oh, great. Um, if you're going to cancel me at the last minute, you should have a check ready in hand for me.
Right.
So, but they were busy and they didn't care.
Did they ever pay you?
They did pay me back, and I got the check fairly quickly after I complained about it. But that's just it. I had to complain about it. I shouldn't have had
Right.
to. So.
So, what's the best way to see what you've got going on? Like to like maybe if somebody wants to get a hold of you, they want to input, they just want to view what you have. Tell me your links.
Well, I am on YouTube under the original Creature Features. Sadly, in the intervening, 30 years it was off the air, there are lots of different variations of that type of channel. So I'm the original Creature Feature. And we have our own Roku channel, which is also called the original Creature Features. We are completely free and you don't have to log in. I recommend downloading the app for your phone. You get to watch a stream of about 150 movies I have out, and then this week's show, and then there's also 4 movies that I think are kind of interesting to go with that. And we've just started having a kids channel where all those fun fantasy movies for the kids are on. And we're going to be actually doing a summer thing where I'm going to do a very brief intro and show some summary movies like Mystic Wheels. It
What
doesn't.
would you categorize as a kids fantasy movie?
Oh, the Pirate and the Kid.
Never
There's a
seen
great
it.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's before my time even. Um,
Okay.
yeah, the Pirate and the Kid, the Magic Book, whatever the Munchie. Those are all more for the tween, early teen audience, and for those people who want to remember what it was like to be a kid. Uh,
Well,
you can you can reach me. We have our website, thecreaturefeatureshow.com. Makes it really easy to find. Thecreaturefeatureshow.com. And that's actually our email too, the Creature Feature Show at Hotmail. So you can
okay.
get to me directly. I have a couple of pages on Facebook. I have my own page as Al Omega, and then I have a couple other pages as Creature Feature fan pages for slightly different things. And then, of course, we're on Instagram as Creature Features. I think we're on TikTok as Al Omega. And we're on
Okay.
Blue Sky as well as Creature Features. So
You're not on X or Twitter
I,
or
I take it back. I'm on X as well. I think it's I think we're under Features there as well.
okay. And if people like send you a message or they got a hold of you, what are they most receptive to? Like if they're like, "Hey, why don't you do a feature on this?" or like, what are you most interested in responding to?
I love it when people suggest movies. I'm limited, of course, because I can't show things that are copyrighted. But I have fans that have seen things I've never heard of, that I never saw. This is where I sort of have to interject. I came into this, actually, my associate was the host. I was just the cameraman, but he bowed out after like 4 shows, and so I kept doing it. So I didn't sit around going, "Oh, I know everything about monster movies, and I'm going to be a host." I wound up being a host, and then I wound up having to learn. And my fans know way more than I do. So if you know of an obscure movie out there that maybe would qualify, sure, go with it. Let me know, and I'll look it up. I love stuff like that. People who are animators, you want to send me a short or something for me to use, awesome. If you're a content creator and you make vaguely horror or sci-fi or even fantasy
No,
shorts.
that's a good angle because I know a lot of like indie filmmakers that have like projects out. So would you be into them like sending you clips or whatever to see if you're interested?
Oh, absolutely. Send me a trailer for any movie you're working on. I'll show it. I do know some people in the industry. I'm an actor myself. I am in movies, and you never know. I did a movie last year, and because of various problems, we were short some people. So the producer had me calling up my friends and say, "I know an assistant director over here, and I know a lighting guy over there, and so forth."
Yeah, no,
And
that's great to know. And that's great, great tip for people. So if people want to get a hold of you and like ask you to help them or ask you, can you preview my movie, maybe review it, whatever, what is the best way to send that to you? What's the best way to contact you?
Oh, go to the website, hit the contact page. The original the creature feature show, I'm sorry, .com. And at the bottom, there's a contact button. And just send me the info there, and I'll try to get back to you. I try to get back to absolutely everyone who sends me any kind of post to let them know that, at least I got it. Even
Okay, and where are you based out of?
I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area
Okay.
in
'Cause
California.
I know a lot of like indie horror directors and stuff that are like in Canada or like like in Maine or on the North Coast. But I would take it that you can still get a hold of you and you still have some info to give them.
Absolutely. I'm happy to share whatever I have. I can only share what I have, and I'll do that to the best of my ability. Um, whether people I had somebody ask about, gee, they want to get on a podcast because they got a new movie they're coming out with. Who do I know? Hey, I'll be sending you some info about that in a bit. So I like to share and help. I want everyone to get along and to do the best they can. And I was talking to Janet, not Janet, Miss O'Day. She played Julie in the original Night of the Living Dead.
Okay.
Oh yes, Judith. That's it. Judith O'Day, lovely woman.
Is that the one who's like is that the one at the beginning where they go into the graveyard?
Yes, and she's
Okay.
with the blonde hair and the
Yeah,
coat.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Johnny, what are we doing?
Yeah, yeah.
I've also spoken to Johnny. He's a great guy. I hope he's still with us. But she always pointed out when they made that movie, they were just trying to make the best movie they could. They weren't going for Oscars or something. They just wanted to try to make a good movie. And that's what most people are out there trying to do. They're just trying to make a good representative movie. Maybe not the best movie, not an award winner, but they're just trying to make a good one. And I want to help people make a good movie. And I love working on small sets. In fact, uh, a lot of the bigger stars are interested in working on small movies with new producers and directors because there's with this indie film, there's a little more input, a little more family. Everyone's trying, not everyone's doing, I do this job and I do nothing else. Go away.
Well, I think a lot of the classics were like indie movies. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
Evil Dead was obviously an indie movie. Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre was probably an indie movie. The original Night of the Living Dead was probably an indie movie. Like even if a bigger company put it out, it was definitely like they were trying to do their best on a very limited budget.
Well, if they had a bigger budget, it wouldn't come out the same way. I mean, a little trivia here: Night of the Living Dead, that truck they use and that they burn up at one point. When they burned it, they hadn't finished doing all the filming with it, so they had to find another truck. And fortunately, the next farm over had a very similar truck, and they were able to use that for the other shots. But they burned it too soon. And this has happened on numerous movies. Things have happened, and
Right.
that's what happens on an indie movie. But that would never have happened on a big budget film. And
Well, they just
without,
like bring another one in, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
But it also probably would not have been as good.
no, it would
Like
not have been good. That's my
it's
point.
always those like early ones that are the best. Like I love Evil Dead 2 better than anything Sam Raimi's done since, and I like Sam Raimi's stuff, but it's like that's my absolute favorite he's done. You know, I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre was like the best thing that Wes Craven did, or not Wes Craven, Toby Hooper did.
I'm a fan of the Evil Dead 2 myself. Bruce Campbell, very handsome, a great actor. Um, and yeah, you're right. If they had bigger budgets, these things just wouldn't work. It's the flaws, the errors that made them change the script a little bit and made people try to get into it. I was in a movie, I won't say which one because it's not out yet,
Yeah.
and I play someone who interfaces with the police, and I keep talking about I'll go take that down to evidence there. I get you. Maybe they'll give me another reward, and I had to sniffle. And so that sort of became a recurring line for me. I'll do that. Maybe I get another reward. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
now the drug junkie.
There are a lot of like even the more famous movies where like the person does something by accident, like they spill the drink or they trip or whatever. Like leave that in, it makes it stronger.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, I'm going to blank on the name of it. But there was a movie, a very low budget movie. David Warner had hurt his leg, so they couldn't put him in the credits because they couldn't get the insurance to sign off on him. And Dustin Hoffman is in it. Straw Dogs, that's the name of it. And he does a scene where he walks into this pub as an outsider, the small town pub, and everyone's supposed to stop and look at him. And he just wasn't getting the response he felt he should get. So he goes outside for one more take and he comes back in without his pants on. Everyone stops that time. It's like, okay, that's the take they took. And you can see the camera's right down there, just cutting him off at the bottom of the sweater. That's what they did. And you can only do that when either you have someone who's in charge, like, Dustin Hoffman, or it's a small, crappy movie, and you can get away with making these little errors and mistakes and such. You never know
Right,
what's going
right. No,
I
no, definitely. And I'm sure there's like a lot of lore behind all this stuff. Like every time I hear it, I'm like, oh, that crazy thing happened on set. Oh, that was the accident that they included or didn't include or whatever.
yeah, I was on a set and we're shooting in a national park, and Life Flight shows up. They were right near the parking lot, and we're heading out, and Life Flight comes flying in and drops down the parking lot, and I'm like, quick, start filming this. And the producer's like, I don't know if we can get the rights to it. I don't care. Film it now. Are you late? I mean, where else? Very famous scene, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. They got an award for best special effects because of their helicopter crash scene. And if you didn't know, it's so good because it's an actual crash. They were out filming and a helicopter crash next to them, and they filmed it, put that in. They even there's even a comment about it, referencing it in a Stargate episode. So if you like Stargate, there's a little bit there. It's about the Wormhole Extreme episode. A little blip about that.
All right, man. So if everybody wants to check out your work, throw out the link once again. You said you're on like a bunch of things. You're on like YouTube. You're on what else? Go ahead.
YouTube's my big public forum, rather than other than my Roku channel, which again, it's all free. You don't even have to log in. So, um, and the fun thing about our show, I think we're closing up here. I have a skull on the set, Bob, who I talk to, and at the end of the show, Bob likes to tell people things. He wants to remind them about something.
Okay.
Yeah, he might say something like, Bob wants to remind you that if necrophilia doesn't leave a bad taste in your mouth, you're doing it wrong. Yeah, things like that. So everyone should stay to the end just to listen to what Bob has to say, because he's always got something.
Okay. All right, man. And let me ask you two last things. One, do you have any recommendations for things people should check out?
Well, actually, on the show, I usually talk about movies that are on Netflix that you might want to watch.
Okay.
And I was just talking to my associate again about a movie called How It Ends. And it's a disaster. Well, we don't know what it is. That's the point. They make a point of not ever saying what's going on. Something's going on, but they don't know what's going on. Basically, they're in New York, and they're talking to somebody in San Francisco on the phone, and something happens, and the phone goes dead. An hour later,
Okay.
the internet is down. Then power goes down. Then the military is everywhere.
Uh,
What happened? Alien invasion? War? We don't know.
oh, but they don't tell you?
They don't specifically say. I have a guess of what happened, but they don't specifically say this is what happened. And it's really,
What's your guess?
my guess is a bizarre natural disaster.
Okay.
So, and so you've got the black uh, ex-military. Well, I want to say he's an ex-marine, but there's no such thing as an ex-marine. And hasty white bread lawyer son-in-law to be have to go save his daughter in going from New York to California, to San Francisco, as a matter of fact, and they sort of bond along the way. So it's a great movie for old soldiers will be going, yes, that's exactly what we do. And as I always tell people, if you know a veteran, go take them out to lunch, because if anything does happen, they're the people with all the training and probably know where to get the parts to get you
Right.
to survive. So talk to a veteran. Be nice.
No, I agree. All right, and last one, do you have anything else you want to throw out to the social sphere? Like you're like, this is what I want you to look at, this is what I want you to check out, this is how you can give me money, whatever.
Well, I mean, that is one of the things. I'm one of those people, I'm not really looking for money. I don't monetize much. But if you want to, on YouTube, it is possible to send me money now. You can give me gifts if you really feel like you want to do that. If you email me, I will give you an address, and you can mail me. You can mail me cash, a check, your teddy bear. Hopefully, nothing that had been alive or is only freshly dead, because then it smells on the way there. If it's been dead for a long time, that's cool. Then I might use that on the set. And I do have some things on the set that
Or
people have
maybe
given.
it's still alive until almost when it arrives, so don't really
You
smell
never
yet.
know. I am a big movie collector of props. That's how I got into this. And so if you look on the set, you can see some screen used props. Not to mention, like I said, the things that people have sent me. So if you look behind me on whatever that is, the buffet, there is a canopic jar from Brendan Fraser's The Mummy.
Okay. That was a
Yes.
good movie. I really liked the first one, The
I like
Mummy. Yeah.
I like the first two. I
Okay.
thought the girl was just really hot. So what can I say? Um,
I thought the
and
first one was the best, but the second one wasn't bad.
I have a couple of other things. I have some obscure toys. I have an all metal Veritech from Maycross, back when it first got here to this country. So for those geeks out there that know what that is, keep an eye out for it. So
Okay.
lots of little odd bits and pieces are stuck around the set that you never know what you're going to find. And I bring other pieces in from time to time, depending on what the movie is. Now, a little something for you. Bob sits on a pair of books. One is the Yellow Pages, one is the Necronomicon. Do you know the difference between the two? The difference is one is an ancient tome of forgotten knowledge. The other one is the Necronomicon.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to be
I could have like thought that was coming, but yeah, no, that's good. All right, so thank you very much for being on here. Everybody should check out your show. And it sounds like you like know a whole bunch about like I think like the forgotten past of like the movie theater and what's like the core of what built everything up. Like a lot of people are like they just know about the current stuff, but you should really follow the history of it because there's a lot to learn and there's a lot of cool stuff.
A lot of cool people were involved. So thank you for having me on the show. We'll see if we can't return the favor at some point. And I like to tell everyone, as always, watch horror films, keep America strong.
Yeah, definitely. All right, thanks, man.
Thank
All
you.
right.